Hi everybody, welcome to Naza's Circus. How is everybody doing? I am doing well. The sun is out. It's actually very hot if you're in London town. And I'm not sure if it's the sun that's making me think a little bit more, or if life has just been moving a little bit funny. But yeah, I've realized that I've just been thinking a little bit more about things, about life, society, thought processes, all those sorts of things. And as you guys know, my musings are, I am saying it clearly again, just my own thoughts. That's the whole point of musings. It's just what I am thinking, nothing to do with anybody else, just my own personal thoughts. And today I have decided to just talk about single parenthood. But single parenthood in the context of single mothers versus single fathers. And by that, I mean how society views single mothers versus how society views single fathers. And I think I want to start by even saying that I am part of the school that is very, what's the word? Part of the school that's very, I want to say maybe, I don't want to say hard on single mothers, but no, I think I'm more, I don't think I give single mothers enough props as opposed to single fathers. Yes, let me put it that way. I think that I'm used to, because I'm a single mother myself, we just keep it pushing. We just get on with life, keep it pushing. Well, people like me, I don't like the whole single mother label, and it's not a pity party. I don't want empathy. It doesn't even come up in conversation really, unless somebody starts to ask me. So when I see somebody and I hear that, oh, she's a single mother, I'm like, oh, okay, she's a single mother, and that's it. But if I see a man, or I hear of a man and he's a single father, hey, yeah, it melts my heart, and automatically the man is up there in my books. Up there, high up in my books of, father. He gets my my award for best father. And so that's why I was just thinking, and I had a conversation with somebody a few days ago, and I said to him, why is it that when we hear about a single father, everybody's like, oh, and everybody's supportive, and, he's glorified and lifted very high. But when we see or when people hear about single mothers, the reverse is the case. It's the opposite reaction. A single mother, people just say, that one, or only God knows what she did. First of all, we have the ones that will say, oh, she was promiscuous, that's why she went to go and have a child outside wedlock. Then we have some who don't even consider that, not every single mother is a single mother because they didn't marry their child's father. Some people actually are single mothers because they were married and divorced, and so they were left basically caring for the children, or the children end up living with them for whatever reasons. Some also don't also consider that some women actually made that decision. For example, if your clock is ticking, and you're not married or you're not in a relationship, you could just decide, you know what, let me have my child. If a man comes, so let me just have my child. So there's so many reasons why people are single mothers, but that's not even the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter is, why is there so much empathy and love and glorification for single fathers versus single mothers? Of course they should be glorified, and I am number one who will I champion their cause, and I admire them, and they can do no wrong in my eyes. But my whole point is, why is it different? Why is it a different thought process for single mothers as opposed to single fathers? And I started by saying that I am part of those people So I'm just wondering why. Because somebody could be a single father for the same exact reasons why the woman is a single mother. Exact same reasons. Either he had relations with a woman, um, they decided not to, they couldn't be together or whatever, raise the family together, and the woman said, you know what, you look after the child. Or he could have been married and the relationship ended, or the partner died, or whatever, spouse died, and he was left holding the children. So if the reasons for single parenthood is the same for male and female, why then do single fathers gain all the love and admiration and gushing and oh, he's amazing. He's a single father. He's amazing. Oh my God, you know that he cares for, his child all by himself. And now that I'm even thinking about it, because my podcasts in general are not scripted. I don't script anything. I just free flow. My musings are even more chaotic because I just talk as I think. I think I now know the reason why this topic even started. It's always been on my mind, but now I know why. And it's because I assisted somebody in court who was a single father, and a single father to a girl. Young man, single father to a girl. And I remember from when I even got the case papers, I was already like, oh. And I know, and that attitude followed me throughout the case, and the case concluded how we wanted it to conclude. Child is still in his care, and I was just like, oh, do you know he lives with his daughter? He's looking after his daughter by himself. I'm like, so I started thinking as I was driving back from court. I'm like, what about the mothers? What about mothers that are looking after their sons? We don't get the same. Oh, they don't get. They don't get the same. Oh, she's looking after her son all by herself. Why? 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 What is it about us that makes us think that way? I know that people will say, well, I guess mothers are the natural nurturers, but are they really? If we're the natural nurturers, what about the dads? The dads also bring their own, whatever it is that they bring to the child, a different perspective or a different way of, raising the child or whatever. So I'm just wondering, why is it, and I'm asking myself the same question, because I've now been challenging myself, like, why? Why do you give the single fathers like so much, and I'm not saying they're not deserving on it of whatever. Let me clarify. I'm not saying they're not deserving of the, support and the encouragement and the admiration. To raise a child on your own is no joke, whether you're a man or a woman. No joke at all. I don't care what anybody wants to say. It's just that some people just get on with it. Some people just get on with it. They don't want to be tagged with that label. They just raise their children and keep it pushing. So, but my whole thing is, why is it different why do we just assume, why is it different? Why is it different? Everybody says, oh, we're raised by a single mother. And it's like, everybody looks at the child like, this one that was raised by a single mother. But when the child says, oh, I was raised by my dad, it's like, oh. So that's just, yeah. I don't know, guys. Do you people think like that? Or is it just me? Because like these are just my thoughts. I'm just wondering, do you think the same way? Do you have the same reaction when you hear that a guy is raising, his child by himself? Do you have the same reaction? Yeah. So I was just curious because, so if you can, guys, please respond. It would be nice if you can comment, just so that I can read the comments. It's just easier for me as opposed to you sending me private messages. But if you can comment, it would be good. Do you think the same way? And if you do, why? Why do you recognize? Yes. Why do you recognize the hard work of a single father more than the hard work of a single mother. Yeah, why does it seem like a single father is doing more work? Yes, why does it seem like it's doing more work than a single mother? Why? Um, why? And why is it that when somebody is a single father, we just never think that he became that because of something? For example, because he wasn't careful with who he was sleeping with. He just went, had sex with somebody, and she got pregnant, and he was left holding the baby. Why do we always feel like, oh, he became a single father because the mom, left him, and we always kind of like blame the mom for making him a single father. Why? But when it comes to single mothers, we don't blame the fathers for leaving them holding the baby. In speech marks, that is, and putting that in speech marks, the holding the baby. So why? It's just an interesting. I don't know many single fathers, but I know that somebody that I met who was one of my guests, in one of my previous podcast guests. I know that he is a single father. He's a single father. He raised his daughter himself, and I'm telling you, the admiration. When I was talking to him, I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" So I was just now thinking about it. I'm like, Chinasa, you're part of these people. Why? And so let's even talk about dating. A guy meets a girl, and they start talking, and she says, "Oh, I'm a single mom." And I know I'm generalizing here, and I don't like to generalize, but let's just, for the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to generalize. Most guys would run 440. If you're Nigerian, you know what I mean by what a guy runs 440. Basically, they'll flee because she's a single mother. I know that a lot of African men would say, or maybe even black men, but let me talk about African men, or let me narrow it down to Nigerian men. Their main argument is, I don't want to fight another man or raise another man's child and have to fight another man. But that excuse doesn't even fly all the time, because sometimes the men, the children, the fathers, the biological fathers of the children are not even in the picture. So you saying that your reason is because you don't want to come and fight another man, it doesn't hold any weight. But they're just mortified just by the fact that this person is a single mother to 1, 2, 3 for whatever reasons. Flip it to the other gender. A woman meets a man and they get talking, and he says, "Oh, I'm a single father. I'm raising my son or my daughter by myself." In most cases, again, I'll generalize, most women will be like, "Oh, I'm going to help him raise his child." Once they establish there's no baby mama drama. And even when there is, they want to stand beside the man and help them raise the child. In most cases, obviously, again, I'm generalizing, but in most cases. So you see, it's just very different. And, that also makes me wonder why. If women are prepared to stand by the single fathers and support them and help them raise the child or children, why is it different for the men? Why are they so petrified? It doesn't even matter if it's one child, 2 children. It's the same horror. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you am I on my own here, or do many people think the same way as I do about this particular topic? I am keen to hear. Please, 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 if you could write your comments in the comment section, that would be great. I know people tend to WhatsApp me, and I would prefer for you to put in the comment section. But if you want to WhatsApp me about it, fine. But if you put it in the comment section, then it can be interactive, and other people can see what other people think. So guys, let me know what you think. This is just something that it's been playing on my mind, and I'm just very curious to know. what people think about it. And yeah, guys, let's normalize having these conversations. It's not, there's no right, there's no wrong. People have their reasons for how they think. I'm just curious to know what people think and why they think that. Yeah. So, I'm gonna end it here for now. I know I will come back again with another musing because my head always has these thoughts flying around inside it. But until next time, guys, I'm sending you peace, love. Take care of yourselves. And yeah, catch up soon.